Welcome to Karibu Anawim's program, 15 Minutes at Dr. Zayli's Desk, where we explore topics related to living with a facial disfigurement. This program is for you, your loved ones, for educational purposes and professionals who would like to know more about living with facial disfigurement. Our presenters have lived experience, research background, or work with people living with facial disfigurement. It's important to begin the conversation with terminology that society understands and is clear. We use the word disfigurement as it is the medical and legal terminology. We recognise you may identify with other words such as visible difference or with your own diagnosis. Let's see where the conversation goes. So pull up a seat, grab a cuppa, and let's chat around the table with Karibu Anawim's 15 Minutes at Dr. Zayli's Desk.
Hi guys, 15, nearly 20 minutes late. It's not 10 o'clock. It wasn't me that was late. It was StreamYard who I go through, the software package that I go through, online software package that I go through that was having difficulties. Sorry I'm late. I'm here now. Shall we get started? Last week, we looked at parenting, living with what's it like parenting a child living with a facial disfigurement. And this week, we're talking about parenting about what about the other family members? What about the brothers and the sisters and the cousins? What about them? So, my first thing is, does having a child living with a facial disfigurement affect other siblings? And the answer is, drum roll, yes. Of course it does. It can add on extra bullying. It can add on avoidance. It can even lead to having less friends or more friends, depending. And the child that is not affected can be on the positive side. There's no positive or negative, actually. It's just what it is, yeah? How your family works, how your child reacts to the other child, etc. It can work out as being, your other child may work out as being the best advocate for them, Don't you do this, don't you do this, don't you come near my brother, I'm going to pivot to you next time you call him a name. Or alternatively, they could be angry and frustrated because they too might be being called names such as, my name that I was, one of my names that I was called was Zaylee Zombie because it rhymed with Zaylee. So they weren't very creative, were they? Or Cyclops, And so when you have a sibling who has a facial disfigurement, then they can become withdrawn. They could become withdrawn and angry about always being in the shadow or always having to go to hospital and being hospital situations if the child's having lots of surgeries and that sort of stuff, because that's just the way it is. Yeah, it's neither right or wrong. It's just the way it is. Does having a parent living with a facial disfigurement affect the children and other family members? Yes. Yes, it does. How? Again, bullying could be the answer. Staring, being stared at, being avoided. They can too also work to be your best advocate. As a parent living with a facial disfigurement and you having a child, they can be a best advocate. They can also, be angry and upset and frustrated, at themselves or with you as a parent because you can't help it, and they can't help it. But sometimes they might wish to have, something different, a face a face that, they love your face, but just sometimes, like us, we would like to have a look in the face, look at the mirror, and maybe perhaps see something different. So some practical steps and strategies to talk about. Well, first of all, we have to acknowledge bullying. Bullying is literally 24/7 these days. When I was at school, it ended as soon as I shut the front door, or shut the front door at night time, because there was no social media, there was no nothing like that. If I went out to extracurricular activities, well, then it may or may not have happened. But when I closed the door, I had some respite from the bullying at school, on the way home from school, on the way to school. I had the respite. But now, thanks to social media, there's 24/7. So, you might want to discuss with your partner or a spouse, at what age are you going to allow your children to have access to social media or mobile phones. You might want to monitor to the best of your ability and study up on the effects of social media and bullying, and limit social media. And one thing that I've looked at and I thought, they're onto a winner here, was that you can actually find on the internet a social media box that is actually lockable, that will actually contain all the charges. So therefore, you can charge your device at night and lock it away, so no one, including us, can get it. And how about another way that we can talk about it is another practical help that we could do is to what I call dedicated time out, or chill time, or decompress time, decompress from the daytime. This is when everyone, regardless of whether or not you've had a good day, whether or not you've had a crap day, whether or not you've had a shite day at work, everyone needs to have a decompress and a chill out time from a hard day's work, or even to get even to calm down from an exciting day. Yeah. And this includes your children too. So perhaps as a family, you could place some healthy habits in, such as creating a timeout zone for each of your children according to age, and then have a timeout zone. Like if you've got a small environment, and 3 children, you might have one in one room, one in the other room, and one in the lounge room, and you in the I'm thinking of the word, cup of tea time, I think. Hang on. In the kitchen, pouring yourself out a cuppa, like I am now. I'm not going to do it over the computer because I don't trust myself that much with hot water. And pouring, that's hard when you've got monocular vision. I've got it licked most of the time, but nevertheless, it's those times that you don't want to mess with the computer. And so, that's nice. It's a bit stressful before, not being able to get online and being present. So, for example, now where was I? Oh, yes. I was with you and I was having a cuppa. So you might put yourself out into the kitchen, and you might be modeling to your kids that I'm tuning out and I'm relaxing with my cuppa. I won't do it for 15 minutes though. I'll just do it then with you. And I'm listening to my favourite music for the next 15 minutes, and before I enter the day's or the rest of the evening's activities, So you might lead by example, and if they come up to you, you just say, no, go away. You go to your spot and you can draw, you can play, you've got your blocks, you can write. until the alarm goes off. If you've got an alarm, if everyone's doing it for 15 minutes, well, then everyone will be doing it for 15 minutes. So that might be a practical help. So therefore, people can calm down without screen time, hopefully, to be at the end of the day before you continue on with, the evening's activities. Does that make sense? And also seek help and advice. Parents require help and support. Children require help and support. And that's what Karibu Anawim we bring and we offer. We offer support for parents as well as children themselves living with a facial disfigurement or a facial eye disfigurement. And today you might have noticed that I'm wearing glasses. My eye for the last few days have been quite fatigued. So these glasses are non-prescriptive, but they are actually I'm thinking of the word, it's not happening. They're blue, they take the blue out of it. And I thought that was a load of, bull, but it does. So whenever I put them back on, my eye just goes, a little bit of rest. So even if my eye needs some support and that sort of stuff, I give it to them. And lastly, it's okay not to be okay, isn't it? So if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to put them up in the live chat. That would be good. And just remember that it's okay not to be okay. And if any of this has triggered you or anything else like that during this session today, remember to practice some self-care and be kind to yourself and your family. We're going to we're going to practice the restoring the pituitary gland exercise or the pituitary release. I need to take these off, I think, because I need to put my 3 front fingers in front of my face, one either side of my eyebrow and one in the middle of my eyebrows. Oh, dear me, it's pretty hard. Like this. And then you need to find at the back of your head, you need to find the hole or the notch and place your other 3 fingers at the back. I need to put it underneath my hair. And then you need to lift up. So this is going to be good because I'm being a bit stressed about the fact that am I going to be able to go and be live today or not. So this will be a good release from me too. So are you ready? We lift up and breathe in through our nose and hold and then breathe out. Yeah? Ready? Set, go. 2. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And relax. And just calms. Oh, it feels it. I feel it all through my shoulders. It's going right through my arms and right down to my toes. The relax is just like, I call it liquid love. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just mush. So it would be very beneficial to practice that and maybe do it just before you go to bed, just to relax your whole entire body. And remember, some self-care could be as easy as going for a walk, doing a craft activity, having a cuppa, as I'll have another sip. And next week, we're going to recap what topics we've done and what we've talked about in February, in March, and in April. So thank you very much for tuning in, and see you next week. Hopefully this time on time, 10 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. I apologise for being late. However, we've got there. Thank you very much for your time today, and hopefully we'll see you again next week.
By golly gosh, it's the end of Karibu Anawim's 15 Minutes at Dr. Zaley's Desk. And that's a wrap for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember that all information given during this episode is for general application only. If you have any specific medical issues, as always, consult with your medical practitioner. Like, subscribe and share on whatever platform you find us on. For more information, please connect with Karibu Anawim on our website at karibuanawim.com or email us at inquiries@karibuanawim.com.